Reported yesterday that Giannis Antetokounmpo expressed questions about the Bucks' ability to contend to his front office over the summer. And as the two sides discussed a path forward, it became clear that he had interest, Shams reported, in playing possibly outside of Milwaukee, maybe even specifically in New York. And today, Giannis was asked about that story. And here is what he said. This is according to Eric Name of The Athletic, who posted this quote from Giannis today. Giannis said, quote, "I've said this many times, and I want to be in a situation I can win now, and I'm here. Now I'm here. I believe in this team," he said. "I believe in my teammates. I'm here to lead this team to wherever we can go, and it's definitely going to be hard. Now, if in 6-7 months I change my mind, I think it's human too. You're allowed to make any decision you want, but I'm locked in. I'm locked into this team." So, Ramona, you've covered Giannis for many years. Yeah. What do you make of these comments?
Look, he's loyal. He's been loyal to this franchise.
Absolutely.
He is and he's also honest. And I like that he says you're allowed to change your mind if in 6 or 7 months things look different. And to me, that's exactly what you reported the other day, Shams, which is he's evaluating the team. Let's see how they do. Obviously, the Eastern Conference, you got 2 or 3 teams on a gap year. They still have Giannis. I think Kyle Kuzma will be better this year. But they don't have Damian Lillard. And let's see if Miles Turner is enough to get them back into that upper echelon of the Eastern Conference. And that's all really you can expect in watching Giannis and how he makes his decision going forward.
Guys, the quarter mark of this NBA season is basically going to be a big part of what happens here with Giannis Antetokounmpo and the Milwaukee Bucks. Teams around the league know that. And listen, 2 big things happened this offseason that we've never seen from Giannis Antetokounmpo. He was open, wanting to play outside of Milwaukee if he were to, and that was the New York Knicks. And that was made clear behind the scenes. And the Bucks did pick up that phone call when the Knicks made that phone call. There were offers made. There were conversations had. Those are all things that occurred.
I would just say that the opportunity for Milwaukee to have a season beyond the first round, like it's been the last 3 years, is now. When you look at where the Eastern Conference is, and of course New York and Cleveland, but it's so wide open beyond that with the injuries to Jason Tatum and Tyrese Halliburton. And if it's not now, when is it going to be? And if I'm Giannis, and if we're losing in the first round again, of course you're going to want to look at options outside of staying in Milwaukee. But as Sham said, the first quarter of the season is going to be paramount here as far as how good of a start this team can get off to.
So what are you looking at? If you're a Bucks fan who's listening to this and saying, yeah, I understand that. I would want Giannis to want to win as well. What would be a successful first quarter mark if you're a fan wanting to see this play out?
You're not playing from the back. We saw last year Milwaukee was playing from the back for most of the first 20, 25 games. They were waiting for Chris Middleton to come back here. If you're up there as far as one of these top 3 or 4 teams, you're not a play-in team. Yeah. I think that gives Giannis the hope that this team can contend for a championship.
Here's the thing. The Bucks have known they've been under pressure with Giannis for the
when you
entire
have a
time
star of that
there.
Magnitude, this is the way the teams operate.
Yeah, John Horst, when he made the trade for Dame, basically said, when you have Giannis on your team, you're always under pressure. You're always
when they shipped out Aaron Bledsoe and brought in Drew Holiday, they were doing
this
that
is
as
not
well.
new for them. This is just where we are right now, and the question is, do they have enough?
And that's going to be the question that hopefully in the first quarter there is some clarity on, because it sounds like that is when there's going to continue to be evaluated.
This is the team in August that Giannis Antetokounmpo wanted to play for if he were to be traded outside of Milwaukee, if these two sides could reach agreement on a deal. And so the Bucks also picked up that phone call that the Knicks made. And I was told essentially from one source that this was an exclusive negotiating window that the Knicks had over multiple weeks. In August, Leon Rose, the Knicks president, called John Horst, the Bucks general manager. These sides had multiple conversations. Offers were made, but there are 2 sides to this. The Bucks, I'm told, believe that the Knicks did not even offer a deal strong enough to continue these conversations. The Knicks believe, I'm told, that the Bucks never seriously considered a trade of Giannis Antetokounmpo this summer, and this all stems from the facts that Giannis Antetokounmpo, the Bucks still believe, is a guy that can help them right now win a championship. They still want to win with Giannis Antetokounmpo. That's what I'm told. John Horst told Giannis Antetokounmpo in their face-to-face meeting in late July that we can still win here with you, but clearly Giannis Antetokounmpo aired his level of concern as well with the roster. And so that's where these 2 sides are at. And people in New York have known, going back to 2024, that if this point ever came, Giannis Antetokounmpo might actually want to play in New York. So they've had knowledge that this is a possibility for a little bit of time here. They had a window, no deal.
I think we're about to get to a moment of truth, and I think we've got basically a one-year timeline when you look at the future of Giannis in Milwaukee here.
Yeah.
Here's a player, if we fast forward to next summer, is extension eligible. And that is going to show a lot of us what his commitment to the Milwaukee Bucks is going to be. Because we know that 4-year, $275 million extension is going to be there next summer. And if he doesn't sign that extension, or maybe if this team struggles during the course of this year, that Milwaukee front office is going to have to make a decision before Giannis comes to them and forces their hand.
Well, and something that Shams laid out in his story is that Giannis signed an extension with the Bucks in 2021. He signed another extension with the Bucks in 2023. But is the window closed here? We're heading into training camp. Giannis has just joined this team in Milwaukee. He said when he got there, he told reporters meeting with them in person for the first time, he's excited about the youth of this group. Is there still a pathway?
So for the Knicks exclusive window, that window has shut. When we talk about windows, let's shut that window, because if this ever comes about where Giannis Antetokounmpo going into the season, he's going to start considering his best external options, that window with the Knicks has closed. So you look around the league and he's going to continue, I'm told, to keep his options open and see how does the Bucks season start. The first quarter of the year is going to be very, very important. Stakeholders within the Bucks organization know this is somewhat of a make or break season for them. And his agent, Alex Saratzis at Octagon, he's been fielding rampant interest in Giannis since the May draft combine. He's going to be at the center of fielding and navigating this situation if it plays out into this season. Giannis, we know when the year begins, he's going to be focused. His numbers are going to skyrocket this year with the burden that he's going to have. But it's going to come down to wins and losses. John Horst and the Bucks, they believe this is a championship quality roster. There's been some questions Giannis has raised. Results will show themselves.
And John Horst and Wes Edens is who you were just seeing on your screen right there, some of the Bucks brass and decision makers. As we say hello to our brass, Brian Windhorst and NBA champ Kendrick Perkins joining us here with a little bit more reaction to Shams' reporting. Brian, how are folks around the league digesting the idea that Giannis may be at some point available depending on this first quarter, right? So that puts us at about December.
Yeah, there's been an expectation for quite some time that Giannis's days in Milwaukee, one way or another, are numbered. Whether that was going to happen this year, whether it's going to happen potentially during this season, or whether it could happen next summer, as Bobby laid out there. And when you get to situations like this, I find it very useful to focus on actions over words. Let's look at the actions of the parties that we have discussed here. The Milwaukee Bucks waived and stretched Damian Lillard. That cost them $100 million in dead money on their books. Then they spent an additional $100 million to sign Miles Turner this summer. Those are not the actions of a team that is about to trade the best player they've had since Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, okay? Then you look at the New York Knicks. Obviously, they knew it was possible that Giannis would be available, and we saw some teams this summer potentially hold